And yeah, so you are setting up a little like seance with some food, and you ask the spirits. What is your question that you're going to ask the spirits? Remember, it needs to be a yes or no, or kind of like a good or bad outcome question.
I'm gonna ask them how well our plan will turn out.
Okay. So they say your plan should go very well.
Good.
All right.
I informed the others at the table that our plan should go.
Hopefully these spirits are trustworthy.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't tried to kill us. So.
True.
And as she has said before, the results of this are only good for the next half hour.
Well, hopefully they attack us within half hour.
All right.
What could go wrong?
Everything.
All right, so the plan is you guys sneak behind John, and he is acting as the decoy. So you guys are going out of town, correct? You're taking the wheelbarrow to like the edge of town or outside of the town?
I thought we were going to the house. The abandoned house. Is that outside of town?
The house? No, the house is inside of town. So you guys are. So I need kind of the rundown of what you guys are doing from here, because I assumed that the seance was happening inside of the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you guys are going to hang out in the house and wait for the for the wargs to get to you, or
no? So we were taking so John's character was taking the wheelbarrow, to the butcher, loading up, then bringing it to the house while we stealthily followed behind him. Then if there were no werewolves or wargs, then he would do the same thing again. And he would make multiple trips back and forth to the butcher to the house.
Okay. So on one of these trips, as you get close to the house, I need everyone to first give me a stealth.
Yep.
And then a perception.
I'm not moving stealthily.
Right.
And I'm trying to walk with like a limp too.
Mm-hmm. You can give me a disguise then.
Because
you're trying to sell the...
earlier.
Yes,
Yeah,
but that's your
disguise.
visual disguise, so now you're going
Okay.
for the like actions that you'll be performing in this character.
All right.
Very good.
I'm limping with
So you are
the wheelbarrow.
your limp is very believable. In
I
fact,
do
Jack.
have mage armor on myself.
Okay, Jack, you can confirm that his limp looks very believable.
Alright.
And yeah, you guys are sneaking along when... Here. Stat block in front of me.
Man, we all actually do have ranks in stealth. Nice.
Yeah, I've got a +6 to my stealth.
Damn.
Unfortunately, none of you guys see this thing coming. It does not... Hold on, let me double check.
Oh, my 20.
It does not see...
Bastard.
It does not see you guys. But John, as you're like get in the wheelbarrow right to the door of the house, you hear like a faint amount of growling as something jumps through one of the windows and comes straight at you. And it's going to hit you or it's going to attack you for a 21. Is that a hit?
Yes.
I rolled really well. Sorry.
Hold on, he's denied his dex. Are you sure?
For 6 points of damage, and I need you to give me a... I'm sorry. Does a 21 beat your CMD?
Yes, it does.
All right, so let me line up a bit of what was happening here. So the three of you are following like around some other buildings in the area, and Arius, you are there at the house, and the warg has. Is it just not going to let me? It's just not letting me put minis on the board from character sheets. This is super bogus, Roll20. No, please stop with that. There we go. All right.
Just one has jumped at me?
Yes, so this one has jumped out of the window, and has... Oh god, why does it do that? Stop. That's fine. It can sit that way. I don't want it to flatten. And everybody can give me initiative. Wait, did the 21 beat your CMD?
It did.
Okay, you have been tripped.
Okay.
And everyone give me initiative.
Ooh.
Remember to click on your character
first. And it
first.
will eat his brain in a round.
No, 2 rounds, remember? 2 rounds.
2 rounds, gotcha.
Well, it's a good thing that it's not a mind flayer.
Wait, I should be at full hit points now, right? Wait, no, we didn't rest today. Okay.
Yeah, not since the last battle. Okay, cool. We got everybody. And that's going to start things off with Jack.
All right. So let's see. Okay, so I can deadly aim a bullseye shot. I just can't rapid shot a bullseye shot.
That is correct if I remember right.
Yeah, because deadly aim just adjusts ranged attack rolls. It doesn't take any sort of action.
Yep.
So I will get a +3 to attack and a +2 to damage to do that.
Okay.
I gotta adjust my temporary attack and damage. Is it not adjusting it? Okay. Why is it not adjusting my attack?
Just make the attack and then tell me what the adjustment is. That's fine. It doesn't need to be on your final roll, as long as you're informing me.
It's adjusted now.
Okay.
No, and then it went back to not being adjusted.
That's
it's
fine.
A +3 to that.
Okay. So a 21 is definitely going to be a hit, and 12 points of damage is quite impressive.
Max damage. Yeah, max damage. Super nice.
Quite impressive. So yeah, this takes a pretty like deep thud in the side of this thing, and blood just starts like spilling down it rapidly. But it goes and tries to. I'm gonna see. It's intelligent. It's going to take a disengage and go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Well, what I'm trying to do is adjust the size. And 30, 35, 40, 45, and...
In case anybody else
50.
is wondering, in your temporary attack, if you want to add it to it, you don't put plus in the number, you just put the number.
Okay.
In case anybody else wonders.
Sphinx, you're up.
So it's behind the building.
It
now.
ran behind the building. Well, it didn't run. It moved very carefully behind the building.
You just the map real quick.
Here, we can do this real quick to help you guys out. I'll just move everything down a little ways. There you go. Actually, hold on one sec. I'm going to readjust it just a little bit more up. There we go. There's the room on the top and the bottom. Alright, Spinks, what do you want to do?
So where would I have to be able to hit it?
You would need to have some form of line of sight to it, so you would need to be able to draw a line from where your character is to where it is. Without crossing over the gray line. And you have 60 feet of movement. But at the end of it, you can move 30 feet and do something, or move 60 feet and do nothing. Oh, it's also, hold on, it's in this square. Or this hex.
Fantastic.
Alright, so what's your plan? Countdown timer starts now. Gotta see your character move, where you drop your action.
Oh, I gotta get to the... Where did I say I was going? I think it was...
Okay.
I think it was here.
Alright, that is your move.
Yeah.
Cassius.
Alright. Since I can't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna move. And that's it.
Okay. Arius.
From our time in the building, would I know that there's a window on the other side of that building?
You do know there is a window that looks out the other side.
Is it like made of glass? What was it made of? Like glass or?
No, there was, like, the window is just kind of like a cutout. These are very low income buildings,
Okay.
so the windows are just like somebody
It's
cut
like
a hole.
in the wall.
Yep.
Is it my full move to stand up from being prone?
It is a, yes, in this it is a move action to get up from being prone.
Can I see the dog through the window if I stand up, since I'm at the door?
You can give me a perception, and I'll tell you whether or not you've got visibility to the dog.
Okay.
The dog's stealth is going to come into play here because it is kind of ducked
Alright,
down
so
as
I'm
best
standing
as
up
it
and
can.
looking through the house to see if I can see him.
You can just make out, like, a bit of a wag of its tail.
Is that enough to charge a spell at it?
It is technically enough to cast a spell at it.
Alright, I'll cast a spell at the wagging tail.
Okay. A jolt is a 21 to hit. It does have cover here. Let me check real quick how much that's going to give it. I believe it's 6. There we go. No, it is 4. Okay. So that is going to be a hit, and it takes 4 points of electricity damage. Oops.
Ooh.
That's not correct. That's correct.
God damn.
The warg whimpers out in like what sounds like a blend of dog speak and common. I just want to leave. I'm sorry. And you hear it kind of. Jack. Like that.
Is that him barking?
It's a good sound effecting there.
I
Nice
don't know why
Foley
my
work.
dog started barking. Like, She doesn't normally bark, but now she decides she wants to bark.
It's alright, it fits with what's happening now, so...
It can sense the pain of the warg.
Alright, I moved.
Okay. It will go, and it is going to make a run for it.
I
No.
I wish.
So it makes a run for it. Are you guys going to attempt to chase it?
Oh, I'm trying to shoot
Okay.
arrows at it. I got 110 feet.
So it moves it 4 times or it moves it 5 times for a run. Right, that is what run does. It's 5 times.
4 times.
4 times. It's normally 3. He runs 4. So it's going to move 200 feet. So I believe that's 1 range increment outside of bow range.
I'm shooting it.
Go for it.
Can I shout something as I see he's knocking an arrow?
Yeah.
Perhaps let's try and track it to the pack. We need 4 heads, not just 1. I'll say that, and then you do what you do.
I got bloodlust. I'm shooting it.
All right. Oh yeah, that's right. You do have that as a flaw, don't you?
Oh shit.
Oh, but that is a wild miss. All right, and it's going to move another... Oh, does anybody else want to do anything? It is now 200 feet out, though.
If I can't see it, then I would just try
Yeah,
to pick up its trail.
Okay.
Yeah, I can track it.
All right,
Yeah,
so let us stop our combat music. All right, so the plan now is you're going to try to track this thing down.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Tracking a wounded animal is theoretically simple. You would know, Cassius. So
Also, when it's out in the plains, I got a bonus.
yeah. Let me double check something, because I think Cassius, you have 2 traits that won't apply here for tracking, right? Just specifically.
I have track, but I also have oh, what was it I was looking for? What the hell skill am I looking for? Survival. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have I saw that Tom was able to like put something in the notes, so I put stuff in the notes for the tracking.
Okay,
for
so
survival.
these bonuses will add on top of what your survival is already.
Yeah, so this is my survival, and then
Okay. Now, for some
that's
reason,
not factored with those in.
your survival is seeming... Oh, because you've got the miscellaneous modifiers that are added, and that's why it keeps acting like that number's incorrect.
Yeah, that's without the +5 if that applies, which I don't know if it does.
In this particular case, it does not.
But
You should
that
also
add
have
+1.
your Wayfinder as a separate entry in the notes as well, because that is an additional +2.
Yeah, I put that under temporary.
Oh, okay. So then this is technically 2 less, because the Wayfinder will not help you track.
Alright, should I toss my survival
But you also add half your level, so you get an additional 1, so I guess it's 12. Yeah. Throw it on your survival as well. So that is actually enough, because it is very wounded and bleeding, that you can follow the tracks to... you get to a point in the wall, and you can see that it has dug its way underneath, and it looks like it's kind of squeezed its way underneath the palisades.
We activated our Witcher sense to follow the blood trail.
Do you guys want to crawl underneath, or do you want to go around to the gates and then fall and then come around to where the path will continue?
How big is the area to crawl under?
It's about the size that like a small person could fit under normally, like comfortably.
Yeah.
You guys would have to like kind of really press yourselves through, and it might be a bit difficult, and somebody could get stuck.
Yep. We probably should not go through there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, how about for a hobgoblin?
It's still like this is designed for like a creature that's about 3 feet tall to be able to kind of like slide pretty evenly underneath. It is a bit thicker, so like you might be able to press your way through, but it's more in the lines of like, you know, a dog trying to get through something than it is a person trying to get through something.
Yeah, also, if there's like a million of these things in there, we probably need to be able to get away as quick as we can.
Yeah, let's get a lay of the situation.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys will head around, and after a little bit, give me a set of survivals to kind of pick back up the tracks.
While we're walking around, can I tap my necklace?
Yes, absolutely.
It's 1d8 plus 1, right?
1d8 plus 1.
4 HP.
Right, nice survival there, Cassius. You are easily able to keep going along the trail. You notice that you are getting, like, following these tracks, you are getting quite a ways away from camp.
I'm going to mention that to the rest of the group.
Are we worried about that? I think the most trouble coming out of this town is these wargs, right? So, I mean, we're finding the trouble, so I don't think we should have a problem getting back.
No, that is assuming that it only leads us to 3 or 4 of these things.
Yeah.
So they've only seen packs of 3 or 4 in the towns, right? Or around the towns?
Yes, when people have encountered them, they've only seen them in packs of 3 or 4. But you do remember reading the book that they can be in larger packs, and usually the packs have other people roaming around with them. Oftentimes orcs or goblins.
I mean, we can always track them down and see what's going on, like what's with them, or like how big their pack is. But
yeah, I think that's fine. Jack, what do you think?
Yeah.
Okay. So give me another survival to continue traveling. Following the tracks.
Perception for random encounters.
Sure. All right, the two of you are able to continue following the tracks with relative ease, and see nothing approaching you as you travel. Go ahead and give me another set of survival checks.
Ooh.
Ooh, all right. That's excellent and with good timing. Okay, so where you are at... you will come across the body of the warg. It is dead and has been clawed apart heavily by like a pair of what look like somebody give me a heal check, actually, to identify what tore this thing apart, or to try to. Or a knowledge nature. I'll allow knowledge nature as well. That would be relevant here also.
Yeah.
Okay. So knowledge. So Cassius, you're looking at these, and these are definitely like, they almost look like big cat tears the way that they are, but the claw patterns are just a little bit smaller. You would actually recognize these as some sort of like more humanoid cat, possibly like a werecat. And you can see that like its insides have been like consumed. But then for some reason, like, give me a survival real quick.
all right.
But for some reason, there are like some tracks that like go off in 2 different directions, but then like disappear after a little while. And they look kind of like paw prints that would match the whatever tore this thing apart.
All right.
And then your perception was a 19. So then you're looking at that, and then you look up, and you and Jack in the distance can see what looks like a large campsite way off, about you can see the light from it a few like quite a few hundred feet in the distance.
Huh.
Well, I'm taking the greatsword out and chopping off this thing's head because we need that.
Okay.
And I'll take its head.
Yep.
And then we probably want to try and stealth over to the campsite, right, guys?
You said it was a really large campsite?
It's a relatively large campsite. Yeah, it looks like there's probably, several dozen creatures over at it.
Oh, so we do see creatures moving around at it.
No, you assume from the size of the campsite,
okay.
There's probably several dozen creatures there. There's a lot of light around the campsite, so it's pretty easy to see in as dark as it is at night right now.
Yeah, let's stealth close enough to get a kind of see what's over there.
You want us all to go with you, or?
Here, I'll stealth up like
Just because I'm not as stealthy as you.
Yeah, I'll start stealthing up a little bit and see if I can kind of scout forward it. Just
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Not super close, but just close enough to kind of.
Okay. So you
maybe get a
sneak
view.
on up, and
So me and Spinks are waiting behind.
Like
them, right?
100 feet out or something?
yeah, about how
100
close are you
yards
getting? About how close are you getting within the within it?
Well, I mean, should I throw a perception check?
Yeah,
to
go ahead and give
see-
me a perception to go along with that stealth, and let's see about how close you'd have to get to see it. Okay, so you can still be a good range out with a. Oh no, I'm looking at Cassius's.
Yeah, I got a 26.
Were you sneaking up there with him, Cassius? Is that what I'm seeing here?
Yeah, he said.
Yeah.
Okay. So you both can see this from a good distance. Jack, you see it pretty clearly though, from quite a bit further away. You can definitely make out some figures moving against the flames of the torches that are on these stands, and they're lighting up a large number of tents, with a larger tent in the center of it. And moving around, you can see some much larger figures, some much smaller figures. There's some soft drum playing coming from within the campsite.
All right, but these are humanoids. They're not wolves or wargs.
From the outlines, you can see they look to be humanoids.
Huh.
I mean, I guess I'll need to move in a little bit closer.
Okay. Okay. So you slip in a little bit closer, and you're at this point within not even a few hundred feet of the camp. But you found the perfect rock. You climbed right in behind it, and you're glancing over it off to the side, and you can see and you can hear a loud ruckus. What languages do you speak?
Common.
Okay. So you can hear very guttural voices in some kind of very angry tongue, as well as some yipping noises, but coming from both very soft voices and voices that give me an intel check here, or if you have any ranks in linguistics, give me in linguistics. But considering you just said you only speak one language, I don't think that's the case. Yeah, you're not. You think maybe something about it sounds familiar, but you can't quite place where.
All right, am I able to sense motive to see if these guys are angry or?
Give me a sense motive. That's fair.
Did it roll? Okay.
All right, so you actually get the impression that these guys are kind of the people that you're overhearing are kind of joking. You hear the occasional ho ho, which could also be easily misheard as a cough. But you realize in some of the way the auditory contexts are, it sounds like it's they're actually pretty happy and having a good time.
Okay, I'll move back towards the party.
Okay.
Kind of let them know what I found.
Yeah, I'll go with him when he gets back to me.
Okay.
So wait, Steve.
Yes.
We were right on the tail of this dog when it died, and you said like something clawed it open. We didn't get any glimpse of that.
You were not. So you were on the tail of it, but you're like
Mhm.
on the tail of it, like this thing moves 200 feet and around,
Okay.
and you guys are tracking it, so you're moving much slower to follow it. So a few hours had passed each segment that you were trying to catch up to it. So by the
Okay.
time you had reached it, there was plenty of time for this thing to have been dismembered.
Okay. So guys, did you see the tracks of whatever tore that thing apart, heading toward that village or that campsite, or what'd you see? What do you think of? What do you make of it?
You said the tracks were heading off in a different direction, right?
Yeah,
Steve?
the tracks head off like one. So this camp is to the north of where you're standing. The tracks for the creatures run both east and west.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I should have been more clear about that.
So do we think this campsite's related to anything that's been going on with these wargs, or?
Oh well, I mean they didn't seem hostile. This might even be military. They were joking around. I mean, I heard like guttural Stormlord-esque sounds and yipping. Maybe like some sort of pet.
Perhaps warg pets?
No, I saw humanoids.
Sphinx, you recognize people using the phrase yipping. That is often a thing that people refer to either goblin as having sounds that are similar to, or potentially like some people say kobolds yip, but kobolds either speak in Draconic or Common. So you might have some interest in asking a few more questions here about like what kind of yipping.
I'll probably ask about what kind of yipping he made.
Okay. And I'm assuming you'll describe it a little bit.
No, I do my impression.
Okay. Excellent. Go ahead and give me an intel check.
Time to fail more of those. My worst stat.
Oh
no, not you. That's Sphinx
okay.
would be doing it.
Oh.
So Sphinx, you from the sound of it, like you notice he's doing a pretty good job he's doing an okay job imitating some goblin words. You also are you imitating all of what you heard or just the yipping sounds?
I mean, if I'm asked to describe the other one, I'll do the same. Yeah.
Okay. Would you ask him about the other one, or not once you
Yeah.
hear it's goblin? Okay. So the other thing that he'll tell you is the other sounds are orc words.
I'm a Stormlord. Orc.
Orcs and goblins.
Orcs and goblins. From the book we
Send
read,
goblins.
they are common they use wargs, right?
Yes, from the book that you had found, that's a pretty common pattern.
So perhaps this is related. Should we bother approaching them, or it sounds kind of risky?
No, I mean we should probably stay back here and maybe observe, see if we see any wargs going in and out.
Okay. So how long are you guys willing to sit and keep an eye on the camp?
Well, I mean, let's play it by ear. I'll give it 1 hour
Okay.
right now.
If you're willing to invest an hour, that's enough that you guys can kind of, at the very least, take 10, if not take 20, if you're willing to like set up a hiding space.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So give me a stealth, Tom, to kind of hide the party. You already knew of a good spot, but let's see if you can hide them well over there. So you do a pretty decent job, and you guys can kind of stake it out. After a while, you'll notice that, like, yeah, there are like a couple of other words that kind of move about the camp. You can periodically hear some grunts and whatnot. Sphinx, give me a perception to overhear some of what's being said.
We hear the
They
barking
don't
as
make
well.
any sound.
God. You spend
Those
the better
dwarves.
part of the time talking to your turtle while the rest of the party is kind of keeping an eye on things.
Shut up, Sphinx!
So, Sean, what do you think about all this? Well, I think so.
Actually, with that perception as well, give me a knowledge, or give me a spellcraft check. Okay. So with that 20, like you're having your conversation back and forth with Sean, and what really catches your eye and what really stops you from like hearing or focusing on anything else is there are these very large, like orcish specters that are kind of roaming about the air above the camp. And they are kind of like moving around as if they're dancing, and like one of them is like banging on this ghost drum, and like they're not making any sounds and they're not like directly having any effect, but you can tell that like they seem to be like sticking around this area for some sort of thing that's kind of calling them to that location.
That's rather fascinating. There are many orc spirits hanging around the campsite.
Is it really that? Sorry, Cassius, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that's odd.
Is
So
it
they've
really
been here a
odd-
while?
Is it really odd for spirits of their kin to stick around them?
Well, I mean, it seems like they've probably been here for a little while then.
Hmm.
I mean, that's what I would assume.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a knowledge nature. Either a knowledge nature or a knowledge religion will work. Okay. So, both of you know, and Arius, you would know a little bit more, but you would know that orcs, especially, don't tend to have a lot of, like, especially wild orcs, don't have a reverence to a specific deity. They believe in the tribe. And oftentimes what will happen is that they'll speak of the spirits of their ancestors, their fathers, their grandfathers, their great-grandfathers, who they will talk about walking amongst them. They believe heavily in, like, death eventually bringing you back into your next orc life, eventually, kind of like a reincarnation of sorts, but more along your family lineage. So, like, the idea is that after several generations, you know, you'll then have your life again as whatever child of that lineage that you're supposed to be, and it'll kind of roll down as things go. So it would make a lot of sense that if she can see spirits, that she would see spirits congregating around like an orcish campsite.
Are spirits known to like travel, like, or would they be more stationary?
You don't really have a lot of knowledge about spirits. In fact, Spinks, when you level up, we need to talk about how if you want to be able to know more stuff about spirits, you'll probably need to take some ranks in knowledge occult. Yeah, I think it's occult is the one I'm thinking of. Anyway.
So we have some orc spirits and orcs and goblins and wargs. All of these. This sounds like a bit more than we could chew off here.
Yeah, let's go ahead and head back to town.
Okay. So you guys can make your way back towards town.
Hold on. I would like to mark this on our local map. This area.
Certainly, absolutely. Let me drag you guys over to the map real quick. And we will mark you we'll put a nice little dot here for now. Let's make it a little circle right up here. All right. And you guys can head back to Kazarim. Are you guys going to go straight to the mayor, or are you going to rest for the night and then give the mayor the details in the morning?
Straight to the mayor. Straight to the mayor.
Okay.
Isn't it like
Yeah.
super late?
It is pretty late. You guys are going to get back.
Info.
Well, first of all, you guys got about a 3-hour trip back.
I think the mayor would be upset if we didn't let her know exactly what's going on.
I would
In
assume
fact,
she'd be sleeping, maybe, because it should be like 2 or
this
3,
is
4
this
in
is
the
being
morning.
That should
woken
be
up for the info.
Damn you, Cassius, making a survival check. I was gonna have you guys
You
get
damn
lost.
right. You damn right.
For the journey back, I would recast mage armor on myself.
Okay. So you guys will get
yeah.
back.
Plus, if we go to the town hall, it seems like it's always open, at least, because there's no doors on the front. So there'd at least be somebody at the front desk to talk to, presumably.
Okay. So you got. So is that unanimous? Are you heading back? You guys. Sorry, I missed part of the discussion.
Yep, following Jack's orders.
Okay. So you guys will make it back to the town hall. Yet again, there is the same what looks to be the same dwarven woman seated at the chair, or seated at the desk. When she sees the four of you arrive, she quickly reaches over, pulls the paper over, writes down on it again, and then slides it back. And after a moment, the envoy comes forward once again and brings you up to the. This time, it looks to be a different envoy. This one is what looks to be an older dwarven male, wearing a very similar outfit, not a red blouse, but a red shirt, and brings you up into the mayor's office. The mayor turns, and she looks as if she's been well rested. I did not expect you back so soon.
Well, we've killed one. I'll pull out the head, but we have extremely important info. We believe we discovered where these are coming from.
Ooh, excellent.
So apparently it's a orc and kobold camp.
Kobold or goblin?
Goblin.
Oh, goblin. Yeah, sorry. Yipping made me think of kobolds this whole time. Orc and goblin camp.
I see.
Yeah, it's about 3 hours away.
Did you try to communicate with them?
No. With the wargs, we figured they'd be hostile.
That is a fair concern.
Yeah, the warg we were tracking was heading back in that direction before it got intercepted by something else.
Yeah, some sort of weircat, apparently.
Have you had any dealings with orcs or goblins in the area?
We've seen nothing of orcs or goblins at all. The wargs only showed up in the last few months. It was our belief that that perhaps it was just a wandering group of wolves at first. But like I said, then we noticed it started to become more targeted. Or then we noticed that the attacks were targeted.
Perhaps this village is sending their wargs for easy targets for supplies for themselves.
That is possible. However, if they're assembled well enough into a camp, there is a possibility that maybe we could work out trade with them instead of them having to fall to such distasteful acts. In fact, that is what we would expect the military to do. But we're not certain that this is necessarily something you're capable of handling on your own. We can offer you a couple of different, what I would consider a couple of different potential solutions to this, in my opinion. And you can offer your feedback to me once I express my opinion. I believe that it would be of best interest to have you speak to them, and I can provide you with some of my own soldiers from the guard to come with you and speak, and you will do the speaking, but the guards will add a little bit of, protective reinforcements. Or I can send a messenger back to your camp, and the messenger can see if reinforcements can be sent here to investigate the issue, although my concern is if a large military force moves on the area, them being orcs, they might not be as welcoming to such behavior. or you can go on your own without a backup and attempt to communicate with them.
Yeah, I'm not so keen on that last one.
All right. So if we were to do this, would we be looking at an additional reward for risking our lives in this way?
Yes. Currently, the elimination of the warg threat is a very high priority. We've lost a very large number of people, and I want my people to be safe more than anything else. This town is not of value to this land without its people and without the safety of its people. So as it stands right now, I was already preparing to offer you a substantial sum of money. If you could work out a reasonable trade arrangement with the orcs or a cleansing of them, then we would be quite happy to provide an even greater source of, or an even greater compensation for your deeds.
All right. And as far as trade, like what sort of things are we able to offer them?
So our offer would be this: we have very good access to food. This river line runs us through quite a few towns that have very good livestock. In fact, one of these rivers leads us to a place with a large herd of bison, yes, of bison, and we are able to keep well fed here. We ourselves have a good number of pigs and chickens, as well as a brewery. These are all things that I believe would be of value to the orcs out there. And in exchange, I believe the orcs could offer us sort of the same protections that the military might in a lesser way. There are a large number of threats to the northwest, and keeping their little camp in place would provide a very steady wall to keep many threats from reaching us from that area.
Should we listen?
All right. I think that's something we could take to them. So we would like to rest.
Certainly. I would
So,
expect so. I would not advise going into a camp in the evening anyway. You don't necessarily know how well the natives are going to take it.
But yeah, we would appreciate it if you were able to send some dwarves with us, so they knew that we were being truthful at the very least, that we weren't trying some sort of trickery.
Certainly, we'd be happy to oblige. Here's what I think we can do for you. I can have you go out in my personal chariot, or not chariot, carriage, with a small group of my personal guard. They can take you there, and if things turn sour, they can get you out of there very quickly. But I believe that if they're civil enough to create a camp that size, I don't necessarily think they'll be so uncivilized that they'll just attack you on sight. Especially not if they have any reverence for keeping some of their own kind.
Do any of your guards speak Orcish or Goblin?
Let's find out.
Sphinx, you speak Goblin, right?
Nope. None of them speak Orcish or Goblin.
It would help if we could speak their native tongue. They don't speak Common. Sorry, so Sphinx, you do speak Goblin? I didn't hear you.
I speak both Goblin and Orc.
Oh, perfect.
Fantastic.
You will be the translator.
All right. So you guys can all rest up. Is anybody presently injured?
Yes.
So Sphinx, this is where I'll give you a little bit of a reminder that you have the ability to heal each player once per day for D8 plus level.
So I would roll that for the both of them.
Yep. You can just click on your Cure Light Wounds, and that'll do it as well.
Ah, okay.
So only one you can heal one person?
She has an ability that once per day she can heal each person for one equivalent of Cure Light Wounds.
Oh, okay.
What if I crit on
You
the
can't
Cure Light
actually
Wounds?
crit, so you just take they'll get the 8. So who's that one for?
I only need 3.
Okay.
I only need 2.
Oh, okay. So yeah, go ahead and do the other one. Okay, so both of you are healed to full then.
Nice.
And yeah, breakfast will be provided for you in the morning, and the carriage will be waiting for you outside of your inn.
All right.
Good.
Okay. So you board the carriage. I'm assuming, is there anything you guys want to grab before you head out?
I think we've been carrying all our stuff with us.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
So the carriage will lead you back to the campsite. The carriage will stop a few hundred feet away from the camp, and as it does so, an orc will come rushing out and start shouting something at you in Orcish. Sphinx, you can hear it shouting, "Who are you? What you doing?"
Sphinx, you're up. Time to get translating. What's going on?
So we're at the.
You're at the
Right,
campsite,
right.
yeah.
I say that we've come from a nearby village and we would like to propose a.
You trade what? We have things we need. What you have, we need.
We have quite an extensive supply of meat and she said alcohol. She mentioned alcohol, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
We have a very extensive supply of meat and alcohol that we are willing to trade.
Hmm. Hmm. He thinks for a moment. I must consult Crimson Council. You wait, please.
Certainly.
He turns and the particular one you talk to walks on back, but like 4 other orcs come up and they stand like directly in front of each of the dwarves that are around your carriage. And the dwarves and the orcs kind of stare each other down for a bit. Until eventually he comes back. Crimson Council will meet with you, but only you.
Fun.
Well, they only see you because you're all in a carriage and you're the only one poking your head out to talk to them. Unless any of the rest of you are outside of the carriage.
Well, the 4 dwarves are, right?
Yes, the 4 dwarves are, but they will not meet with the dwarves.
I mean, they're not speaking to common or anything. I have no reason to have gotten out.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for a report from Sphinx.
You gonna tell them?
I inform them that I have some other members within the carriage and ask if they are okay with them coming.
Hey, dwarf.
No.
You bring one other.
All right, give me a moment to talk with them and see who would like to come.
Certainly.
I tuck my head back in and turn to everyone else and explain the situation.
Huh.
All right. I mean, any one of us, I'm sure, would be willing to go.
Who is most
Uh,
willing to accompany me?
Sounds like a job for some sort of leader.
Well, the question is,
no, leader.
Batman.
I mean, leader.
what are we looking at as far as diplomacy? One of our party members who died recently was the talker for the group before.
Some may call me untrained in such diplomatic matters.
I mean, I've been able to talk my way out of a few situations.
So you might want to accompany her in case their leader speaks common. You might be able to negotiate
Perhaps.
a better deal than she would be able to.
Perhaps.
Things go south. Do we have a way to know this? How far you're in the camp? Can you signal us somehow?
Oh,
Well,
I'm sure we'll die
assume,
if that's the case.
I assume the screaming and yelling in pain might indicate.
Well, hopefully we're close by enough to hear it.
Be real loud if that happens, guys,
Yeah.
so we can make a quick escape.
Yeah, I'll make sure to scream extra loud.
By escape, he means rush to your aid immediately, of course.
I'm sure he does.
Yep. The louder and more obvious, the easier will be to know to come in and save you.
It'll just make it easier for you to find us, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. We'll wipe out the camp real quick and come get you.
Easy.
Yeah, I'm sure the two of you and the four dwarves will be able to handle that perfectly fine.
Oh yeah.
All right, so you guys ready to go and get killed? I mean,
I
Yeah,
swear
I'll-
if our two
diplomatic.
characters die again.
I'll kind of do the thing where like I gently push him like in a leading manner out of the carriage.
Okay. All right. So the two of you head down and out. You two are led into the camp. And Ryan and Michelle, you should see a different screen now.
Sort of, yeah. Yeah, I do see a different one.
Okay. So you are led to this giant tent that is here. Oops, I'm in marker mode. That's really annoying. Hold on one second.
That's not the screen I'm at. Oh yeah, I see the Crimson Council. I see that now.
Yeah. So this
there we go.
is the tent.
Right here?
Yep, that is correct. So you are led in to that tent. This road that's here is not actually here.
Okay.
So please ignore it. And inside there, so this tent is like a pavilion style tent. It goes up. There are walls around the outside with some windows, around some like cutout windows around it. And these the four creatures that you see listed under the Crimson Council are seated around a table with four other seats available for the two of you to sit at. They each rise as you enter the area and gesture to the seats. One of them gestures to the seats. The bigger build of the bigger built of the orc will gesture.
I'll go ahead and sit down.
I also said as well.
They then sit after you do. You notice as well as you sit, there are a very large number of guards that are standing in front of the doorway. We are the Crimson Council. They speak in common. This is the bigger built of the two orcs. I am Agak. I am interested in what you claim you offer. You say you have alcohol, and you say you have food, yes?
Yes.
Indeed.
We are good hunters, and we've hunted quite a bit of good game. We could easily offer food as an exchange for the food that they have. Variety is important, and we do not have the proper land here for farming due to a lack of water. So it would be nice to not simply be hunting for game, but instead to be able to also have other food supplies that would be useful. I did not know ahead of time that the wargs were stealing the food they were bringing back. They were instructed to hunt, but you know goblinoid types. No offense, Cheggy. Cheggy just shakes the goblin shakes his head. None taken as usual. So we had assumed that we were getting carcasses of beasts they had caught, not carcasses that came from a town. We do apologize. The hairy hobgoblin looks up from kind of looking at some documents she has on the table. She kind of adjusts a bit of her mane for a moment before looking to the two of you. I believe the town you're from is known as Kazarim, correct?
That's correct.
Good. My notes are at least accurate for that. We noticed when last we sent people in to talk, people were not as receptive as we had hoped in allowing our people in. Though we will be honest with you, they were orcs, and we do realize that many places are not exactly welcoming to orcs, especially ones that do not speak the tongue you would call the common tongue.
I appreciate you speaking in common tongue. Makes it a lot easier for me. We've actually been sent by the mayor herself on her behalf to come speak with you guys.
I just realized you guys actually can't see the list of the. Can you guys see the list of the people or no?
I can see the population.
Oh, but you can't see the list of the names of the people that are. Okay.
Nah.
All right.
I see the thing that says leaders, but nothing underneath it.
Gotcha. The council is an array of 2 orcs, a hobgoblin, and a cleric.
A cleric?
Or I'm sorry, a goblin.
Is that a race?
A goblin, not a cleric. Cleric is not a race, just like goblin is not a class, or elf is not a class.
Oh, Thaco.
I wanted to be a cleric.
The other orc speaks up, leaning in a bit. I don't know what you're trying to pull here, but I know for certain that you're not the type to want to deal with orcs. What's your real game? How long till the military arrives to wipe us out? You're here to distract us. Well, messages get sent, right?
We haven't spoken to the military about this yet.
You look... well... You
We indeed
look
are.
military. You not so much.
Yeah, we are from the military, but we haven't spoken to them directly about the campsite up here quite yet.
You're here making negotiations.
On behalf of the town, yes.
But you're military.
We need to make sure that your tribe and the town aren't fighting, because otherwise we would have to wipe you out. But if you can make negotiation and not fight, how do I word this?
Tima, look back at her papers for a moment and looks back up. So it's veiled threats and it's veiled threat diplomacy. Is that what I'm to understand?
Not exactly. We're here on a diplomatic mission, but we do have to have things set up in case we don't return. Because we weren't able to expect what would be in the encampment since we had never encountered it before.
We're not looking to kill you, you understand. We just don't like the idea of feeling pressured by you, if that makes sense. We would like to reach this trade under. We would have liked to have reached a trade under less militaristic means, even if it is just the threat of military.
No, we weren't trying to threaten anything with the military. We just wanted to let you know that we were from the military, to not try to deceive you in that means. Because obviously you could tell from her or that she is part of the military, given the insignia and everything.
And you do
on.
have additional travelers with you? I
Yes.
believe we were
Yes. In addition to the dwarves that accompanied us, we do have a couple of additional people in the caravan.
Well, let's do this. One of the two we'll send one of our. Do they speak Orcish?
I don't believe so. No.
Would one of you be willing to accompany an orc out there to retrieve your companions?
Sure.
All right. Which one of the two of you is going to travel with the orc?
Doesn't matter to me. I'll go with them.
Okay. So you offer up. You will follow the orc out to get your companions. In the meantime, Sphinx, do you trust them? The other hobgoblin at the table leans in.
My companion?
Yes. Do you trust them? Is this a military ploy? If the military is... Jesus, that is loud.
My bad.
Sorry. If the military is coercing you in some way or putting pressure on you to do this, we can keep you safe. We believe we have enough people and skills here to defend against a military attack quite significantly well. If you wanted to stay here.
I'm fine.
Fair enough. After a little bit, you'll reach the party, Cassius.
All right. I'll let the orc know that I'm gonna go into the tent and let them know what's going on, or into the carriage, and I'll pop back into the carriage.
Yep.
So, we just met with their Crimson Council, and they asked if there was anybody else with us, and let them know that you guys were back here in the caravan.
I sense motive. Did they kill him and replace him with the disguised Cassius?
Yes.
Did you say with the disguised basilisk?
Cassius.
Okay.
They mimicked my mummy rot scar and everything. They got a really high disguise check.
All right. So did they seem like they were trying to bring us over to kill us, or they just want us in there for the negotiations, or what?
They didn't seem very hostile. They seemed to think that when I was talking to them that perhaps it was a little hostile, and they didn't want anything to do with like a hostile negotiation, especially with the military.
Really? There were. I would expect that to be the only way that they could negotiate.
Yeah, at least when they were talking to us, it didn't seem like it. But I was like a little caught off guard because they were speaking in common as well. Wasn't prepared for that.
Well, I mean, if you didn't sense anything out of the ordinary, I guess we'll head on over.
They're aware we don't speak Goblin or Orc, though. Like, what do you serve us in that? They just want us there to.
You know what?
Well, Cassius, you just said that they speak common, right?
Oh, right. So they're gonna just speak in common, I guess.
Yeah, they started speaking in common when we went in there.
Okay.
Yeah, they did ask if you guys spoke Orc, but I told them I didn't think so.
I do not.
And Sphinx is still in there. They sent one of us out with an Orc escort.
Okay.
All right.
And did you get a reason as why they were sending their beasts into the dwarf village, attacking?
They from what they had said, they said that they sent the wargs out to hunt, but the wargs ended up going to the village and taking it upon themselves to do their hunting there.
Yeah, catch us up on everything real quick.
Yeah, and they said they weren't aware of that, and I'll kind of give them a rundown of what
Okay.
was said in the meeting.
Yeah.
All right.
Do we not find it odd that the wargs decided to travel 3 hours away from the village for hunting instead of around the village?
Well, I mean, they probably wanted to just grab something easy, and that's what they seem to be doing.
All right, something
I
fishy with that, but all right. I cast mage armor on myself.
Okay. All right, and then you guys are following with the orc back to the tent.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch for anything suspicious. Should I perception or sense motive?
Yeah, you can give me perception.
There were quite a few people in there too, so I assumed that if they really, because I saw probably like easily like 100 people, 100 creatures.
Oh yeah,
right?
there's like at least 100 creatures here. So
yeah, so if they wanted to, they could have easily wiped us out as soon as we got here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they would have easily overtaken you with little to no effort. So as you're walking in, you notice that there are goblins all over the place and orcs standing behind them, and they are like just ready to pounce if any of you like makes a single bad move. But overall, as you're looking around, you can tell like they have a pretty good setup here. They have like a large number of tents set up. They've managed to acquire some goods to kind of keep them stable. It does look kind of portable though. Like at any moment they could kind of fold up shop and move to another location. But from the way the ground is, you can tell they've been here for a little while. So this hasn't they've been here for at least a couple of weeks, if not months. You make it to the tent, and inside are the two orcs, a hobgoblin and a goblin, and Sphinx. Welcome. You are who?
Yeah, who's he talking to? Both of us?
Both of you.
Arius. I'm Marius.
Hello, Jack and Arius. Please, have a seat. I am Agak. This is Cheggy. Cheggy is the goblin. This is Tima, the hobgoblin. And this is Gutai, the other orc.
Greetings.
We were told that you are here for a trade arrangement. Your friend Cassius here did a good job explaining the details. Now, what we want to make sure of is that we're not simply making a deal with the town. We want to deal with the military as well. And I figured all of you should be here to make such a deal. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Very good. We can defend ourselves, but we understand that well, I don't want to get angry about this. Tema, you take the conversation. Fair. We understand that from what we've learned about other towns and other places we've been, the military collects a tax of sorts from those towns. Is that correct?
That's correct.
What we want is we want to be recognized as... How do I put this? We want recognition as working with the military, not against the military. We do not wish to pay taxes, but our services can be offered to others who need it. Like, I believe the word in common is mercenaries. We wish to maintain our own autonomy. We are our tribe, and we wish to maintain our tribal nature, and we know the first thing the military will want to strip from us is that recognition. So what we would ask is this. You provide us, we will provide you with a document that I have drafted, and she takes this sheet of paper she has in front of her, turns it around, and slides it towards you.
Yep, I'll take it.
This document declares I believe your word in common is sovereignty as a tribe, but it also declares that our resources are at the disposal of the military, with a discussion that must precede it, in exchange for us not having to provide compensation in currency. And Tima sounds very angry when she uses the word currency. I don't know if I expressed that well enough.
Like angry or disgust?
Like angry. Yeah, Cassius, you get the impression that part of why they may not want to deal with this is just that they may have some sort of negative aversion towards money and what money does to a society. So from that knowledge nature check you got earlier as well, you know that in many of these cultures, exchange trade is valued, and many of them look at currency as pointless things that often create problems. It's almost like witchcraft to them, the idea that you're exchanging money for goods when the money itself isn't anything. Yeah.
They prefer to trade and barter rather than deal with exchange of money.
Yes. If you deliver that contract to them, I believe I've drafted it to a fair proposal. They may make a counteroffer if they wish. Then we will sign, and all will be right between our two tribes.
Okay, and do you have kind of what you offer as mercenaries listed here, or?
Yes, we have a large army. We have a large group of goblins, orcs, and hobgoblins that are all well trained. At least half of our current population is well skilled in combat, down to even those in the very low years.
And what kind of what's some of the more powerful things you've killed? Anything of note?
Agak smirks when you say this, like a big like tooth, like his large insides are kind of sticking out. As he turns and he walks over and he picks up a head of a is it? Let's see, guys. I don't know if you guys know what this is, so I want to find a picture before I say it.
They pull out the head of a Tarask. They had some.
Yes. Does it have one here?
In fact, this actually isn't the tent we walked into. It was a hollowed out Tarask skull.
Okay. Save this down.
Yeah, how long is it before Tarasks? One in 100 years or something like
It's
that?
a lot longer than that, actually. And the Tarask that lives here, well, you guys don't know that detail.
Yeah.
Good try. Good try.
I believe I got an 8 on my knowledge nature to know about that.
You don't even know what a Tarask is. Get out of here. Did I save to the
A
wrong?
Tarascodon, it's a dinosaur.
Tarascodon! Terrashmactyl! Where the fuck did that go? I just saved this down.
Terastodon with its horrible stench.
Yes. Alright, so it's gonna like be a 9-minute upload, so it's about to happen. Alright. So he shows you the head of this massive creature.
Mighty Orphan Power Rangers.
Yeah, I don't know why that's at the bottom. I apparently
Apparently that thing killed the Power Rangers' parents.
How fitting.
Wow, that's quite powerful indeed. The Power Rangers' parents.
this is not something that most will know as powerful by image alone. Give me a knowledge nature, those of you that have it.
I was just about to ask if I can check to see if this is like potentially similar to the thing that gutted that ward earlier.
That's what I was gonna ask. It looks like it's the same family.
Cassius, you're not sure. Arius, you're fairly certain that this is not the same thing based on what he was saying. The claws are too big. This is a Aurum Vorax. In typical Pathfinder, an Aurum Vorax is actually quite small. It's about the size of like a cat. In this world, these things are about 4 times the regular size of a regular Aurum Vorax. So these things are size large. So this skull is like this big. And it would have claws. It would have like paws to match in massive proportion.
A fully grown one, right? So, like, perhaps the beast that killed the Warax was its kids or child of this beast, or no?
There's some loose possibility that maybe a child would have done it, but if it would have left more prints.
Of a mass. Oh, okay. All right.
Because it has more feet. This looked more like a bipedal creature that had left the scene.
Ah, okay.
We believe that this should, and he pets its head. This should be substantial enough proof of our skills.
It's mighty impressive.
I will lean over Jack at the note. Do they also include a list of the resources that they claim they wanted to barter? Do they have like a sample or something like that? Let us know what they have.
We can hunt whatever game the town may want. We are good at finding bison. We are good at catching elk. We are very proficient at catching elk. And we are good at getting lion pelts.
All right, and you guys are willing to protect the town from any threats coming from this way?
Certainly, we already do that from the northwest. We know the things which would otherwise make it past the mountains, if not for us. We have people that scout even to the southwest of here to make sure that our village, that our camp is not threatened by something coming up from the town or just outside of the town.
All right, sounds good.
So to be clear, they want this paper signed by the village, not the military, right?
No.
This is the military.
Oh,
Yeah.
they want the military to sign
Yeah.
this deal. Okay.
And like they want talks with the military. Like
Right,
this
okay.
isn't just the paper is the deal. They want somebody who can actually talk to them from the military.
Okay.
Now, or Arius, you have some ranks in knowledge nobility. You can go ahead and give me a knowledge nobility related to this document. Okay.
Who we
No.
know we need to show it to?
You know that if you brought this, that's enough to know that like there is something about this document that probably matters, and that you should bring it back to Tonelli and have him take a look at it, and he'll probably put it in the right hands.
This paper should make it to Tonelli for sure, Jack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's where I was bringing it.
All right. So, you let her know that we will send our traders. They will come with wagon pulled by bison, one bison, to the town every, let's say, 5 days. We make trade. She can meet us on the first day we come. Let us say first day we arrive in 3 days, yes?
Hold on, when you say she meets you, you're talking about the mayor?
Yes.
I'm not sure if she'll meet you directly unless you yourself will be there.
Yes.
You're...
One of us
Oh,
will
okay.
come here for first trade.
Okay.
On the
In future, you may deal with agents of both yourselves. I don't know if both of you would keep meeting.
No, we would not meet otherwise. I just want to, as a show of good faith, show that we will come to her to make the trade, and that we come without concern for war.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
So if she will meet with us at her gate, then we will show her what we have, and we can work out an arrangement in 3 days.
Okay.
All right.
So today is the 15th, that would be the 18th. All right. Is there anything else that you wish to discuss with us?
No, I think that that should be good.
This meeting with Runa, are you bringing guards with you, or are you coming yourself, just so Runa knows whether she should be accompanied by anyone, or?
We will bring with us 6 orc warriors and 2 orc traders.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm sorry, 2 goblin traders.
All right. And it won't offend you if she accompanies herself with, let's say, 6 dwarven warriors to accompany her.
We would expect nothing of those.
Excellent.
think we have worked out what will hopefully be a very good deal for both of us.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, then I believe our negotiations are finished, and we will return to our dealings and let you return to yours.
Sounds good. I'll get up and head out of the tent.
Okay.
Follow the
I'll
group.
follow him.
All right. You head back to the. I'm assuming you head back to the carriage, or is there anything you want to do around here?
I'll go ahead and start my attack.
Okay. All right. Well, you can get one, and they will get 130.
I guess we're leaving, but as we're leaving, can I just gauge like how civilized this camp looks? Like, is there like a lot of like structure set up? Does it look like there's like, is it odd for orcs to be this civilized, like speak common and all that? Like, is any of this? Do I know any of this? Would this
So
be
give
weird
me
to me?
another knowledge nature. Actually, that's a fair attempted assessment. Oh, and of course, there's when the botch would come up. So yeah, to you, this is really foreign. Like you've not really encountered something this like well put together. Structurally, it does seem like it's better put together than anything you've encountered in your past. It almost seems like it's implausible. But I mean, now you're looking at it like, and I mean, to some people, you know, the idea of what the military is and does might be implausible just the same, though. So,
Okay.
all right. So you guys can head back to the town, and the travel will be rather uneventful.
Perfect.
Oof.
All right. So, you will. Are you reporting? Are you heading straight back to the mayor then? Assuming since you're in the carriage. All right. So you arrive back at the town hall. Head on in. Same plan. Did things go well?
Yeah. So, pretty much, they're willing to trade. Like they'll do their continued protection. They have, tons of meat things they've hunted that they can trade with you for a variety of food, and alcohol. Pretty much, they'll be coming by in 3 days, the 18th. It'll be the one of their leaders, who he wants to talk with you when he shows up. He'll come to your gate. He'll have guards with him. He'll have some goblin traders with him. He'll have one cart, and to set up the trades.
Does this seem odd to you as well?
Yes, I was thinking they spoke common as well. Do you have knowledge of these orcs? They were very organized as well. It seemed unnatural to me, but I'm not well versed in orc and goblin.
It is quite strange to have a group of orcs and goblins, first of all, working together and not in a master and servant kind of status, and second of all, to be speaking in common as the in-between tongue. But we are in a day and age where she gestures at you, Sphinx, where hobgoblins are seen more and more with groups, and in a day and age where it's not uncommon for the dwarves to make homes above the ground and outside of the mountains. So maybe we are finally reaching a day when the orcs will learn civility. I would ask that if you ever find the time again, and you think you have a reasonable rapport with the orcs, you gain more information about what led them to the point they are now. it's very strange to have such a arrangement in place, especially for orcs.
Well, I mean, they seem to have some sort of anger for currency, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was some rift between their groups at some nearby orcish city or whatever.
Yeah, they seem to much favor the barter and trade system. She got rather upset when she mentioned.
Well, here is the offer I have to sweeten this, rather than make assumptions. First of all, let's deal with your compensation. She first takes the chest and sets it down. This is the military's money. She turns and she picks up a small bag that has been tied proper. This is your compensation. I hope it is to your liking. And she pushes it and offers for you to count it.
Yep, I'll do that.
Inside, it's in my notes. I'm now. Inside there are 10 sapphire coins. For those of you that may not remember, a sapphire coin is equal to 10 platinum pieces.
10 platinum pieces. Each sapphire coin?
Each sapphire coin is equal to 10 to 10 platinum pieces. So it is basically the next step in the logical monetary chain.
Okay.
So, if you can bring me back information about their settlement, I would ask that you share it with the archives. And if so, we have plenty more sapphire where that comes from.
All right.
Spinks, give me a knowledge geography.
Ooh, knowledge geography.
That is a very good time to roll that. So something clicks in your head as she mentions. You saw the thing full of sapphires at first when she had opened that up to present it, the small chest, and then as she presents a bag of sapphires and talks about having more sapphires, you realize that access to sapphires means that she has to have access to trade from the mountain region. According to the map, thought maybe he was gonna touch it again. That noise. Gonna lower your volume a little bit here. The only place to get sapphire would be from the mountains, but you also know that this river doesn't lead directly into the mountains. So somewhere along the line, she's got to have some link of trade that gets her very easy access to sapphires. And as it stands, you can't draw a direct line to how she would be receiving a substantial enough amount of sapphires to be willing to pay everyone in sapphires. Do you have any questions?
Nope.
Nope.
Very good, then. I look forward to seeing you again, if that is how it ends up being. Thank you for your work here. I hope you feel well compensated.
Thank you.
All right. You guys can head down. Is your plan to stick around town for a couple of days and see the rest of this through? Or are you going to head back to the camp?
Yeah. I mean, I think we should stay 3 more days
Okay.
for this trade.
All right.
As long as we got the time.
Excellent. Then we will wrap up here and go over things next session. Let's dole out some XPs. So you do get credit for the Warg fight. So each of you will receive XP from that. You solved this without combat, without significant combat. So I'm actually very impressed with that. There were a number of ways you could have gone about this. All right, so each of you is going to get 750 experience.
Nice.
And then 200 XP for role-playing.
Right.
You did a very good job staying in character and rolling the plot forward. And John, go ahead and take 100 for the recap.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
And then I really need to start writing down clever ideas, because I know I have at least one from Cassius and one from Tom, but I can't remember what they are. So I'll give you both 50 apiece for that. Since I remember they were good ideas, I just don't remember exactly what they were.
Right. I'll take
it. John, did you suggest the tracking as opposed to hunting the warg? Or as opposed to killing the warg?
Yeah, I shouted that out, but he tried to kill it anyway.
That's fine. That's still 100 XP to you. Had Tom not have tried to kill it, and I would have seen the bloodthirsty on his sheet, Tom would have actually lost role-playing XP. So good on you for doing that, Tom. And Spinks, did Spinks suggest did you suggest telling the future?
No, that was
No, that was John.
Okay, John, you'll get the XP Spinks could have had for suggesting her own ability.
He just got to it first, okay?
Yeah, she can have it.
No, it was your idea. It's clever idea experience. It's not following through with clever idea experience.
So what is that, another 100 XP?
50 in this case.
50? Do I get any XP for proposing the ambush plan? Or was that just a simple one?
No, that one you had to do it there were really only a handful of ways you could have gone at it. So
yeah.
There was nothing specifically profound about the ambush plan. So I don't really see it in that particular case.
Okay.
But yeah, all in all, you guys I feel like did very good on this.
How much XP is it till 3rd level?
3rd level is
5,000?
It's
5,000, I believe.
Yeah, I can pull up the XP chart. Hold on, just to make sure. But I'm 90% sure it's 5,000.
Okay, because I didn't have my points till next level set, right?
Well, level 4 is 9,000.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
How close are you to level 4?
Pretty close.
Oh,
I can probably get it next session.
Where's that? I know
Awesome.
it's 5,000. It's annoying that I can't find it, but
Okay.
because it's 2, 5, because it's the XP, it's the level that you're going to times 1,000 is the amount of XP needed to get to the next level. So you need 3,000 beyond 2,000 to get to 3rd level. You need 4,000 beyond 5,000 to get to 4th
Yeah,
level.
it's in character advancement, medium, 5,000.
Yep. All right, so next week is a bit of an awkward situation. We should be good to go. I don't think I have any reasons to cancel, but Michelle will be here with me on that week. So we'll have to work out not having too much crosstalk on the mics. But considering my mic can apparently pick up, I was re-listening to the broadcast from last week, and like you could hear the sounds of Whitney like getting the food ready for the cat, and you could actually hear the cat eating the food.
I didn't notice.
Like it was really soft, but it was something that like I key in on weird little noises, and it took me a minute. Like, what the hell is that tiny sound in the background? And then like it clicked. Like that's the fucking cat eating. How the fuck? And there are times where the mic will like cut out on my voice,
Yeah.
but it'll pick up the cat fucking eating food in the background. So,
I guess one of you would have to be on push to talk, I guess.
what I think we'll end up doing is she'll be able to just listen over the mic. Hopefully the double sound won't be a problem. But I think you can mute an individual. Yeah. So we'll work out a way to make this work. But I will want to try to start as close to 6 as we can to get testing and everything else done and make sure that we've got it all tuned in. Everybody else is good for Thursday.
As far as I know.
As far as I know, yeah.
Excellent. Then yeah. Let's we can call it there. Any questions for me before we wrap up?
Nope.
Cool. Then good night, everybody.
All right, see you guys.
See you guys.